Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. It's time for another Rated or Slated, because I buy things that I want but do not need. And one of the things is this! Yay! It's the Nomad Cosmetics Haunted palette, Haunted Europe. Yeah, because lots of things have happened in Europe. It has this cool cover that kind of just flippy flips. Lots of vocabulary on this channel. It looks a little something like this. Very pretty. I created this look with this palette. So my general thing is I do some swatches, do a tutorial, and then I give a review. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, then do please keep on watching. Okay, it arrived. It's the Nomad Haunted palette. And it's so cool because look, flippy switchy. I mean, I think that's so cool. Like, I'm just gonna sit here and just stare at that for a while. Anyways, the inside of the palette looks like this. Very excited. I'm still a little bit breathless because I've not been well. And I will talk about that until the cows come home, because I'm gonna feel far off on myself. Anyways, I'm very excited about this. Let's give a little swatch. Oh, like the imprint in the pan. Like, I don't want to swatch them because the imprints. Let us just appreciate. Come on. I mean, look at those. Look at those fabulous imprints. You tell me that's not art. I am so disjointed today. Anyways, let's give a little swatch-a-rooney. Oh, okay, I'm really enjoying. Okay, so we have the Catacombs. Then we have Boogeyman. And this is the shade that I got really excited about. It's called Mary King's Close, which is in Edinburgh, by the way. And I love it. It's like kind of spooky. So I'm like, yes, you have done your research. So it's all like European sort of things. So I'm all for that. I want to see how close this is to Boogeyman. This is Huska Castle. Oh, that's a totally different tone of yellow. That's more orange and that's a tone of gold. That's more orange and that's more yellow. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Because I was like, have you duped yourself? Have you duped yourself? They haven't. Then we have Frankenstein. Don't know why I'm rolling my R's. And Dragsholm Castle. I mean, their shimmers are really nice. Really nice. I'm excited as well about them coming out with the Shanghai palette, but it's not going to be the Shanghai palette anymore. But anyways, whatever. I'm excited about that. Then we have Merry Cemetery. Very merry cemetery to you too. Grendel. That's a nice one. Must refrain from using just the greens. Then we have Highgate Cemetery. Nice. Okay, I see you. Nomad. I knew I was going to get excited about this because I have their Iceland palette. I'm going to link the video down below. I really enjoyed it. Not the video, the palette. The video is terrible. Don't look at it. Or do. Who knows? Anyways, I have the Hula Baku Forest. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering that. Don't know where that is, but okay, it's just I'm very pale, so it's not really showing up on me. Big Bad Wolf. Nice. Black Forest. Yeah. Okay. And we're on to the last three. Oh my god. So there's one here, Krampus, you know, like the German thing. And oh, it looks so pretty in the pan, and it has this gorgeous little web. No, my fingers have already smooshed it. This is very upsetting. That's the one thing I get annoyed about with Nomad. I'm like, stop making such beautiful imprints, because now I don't want to use your palettes because they look so pretty. Let's stop that. Anyways, whatever. We have Ghost River. Cover up my spot. There we go. Krampus. Oh, I love that. Brow Castle. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but there you go. I did German in the first year of secondary school. So when I was 12. The only thing I remember is "Wie komme ich am besten zum Bahnhof, bitte?" which is "How do you get to the train station, please?" which isn't very useful because I then don't know how to interpret the directions afterwards. Unless they do it in an interpretive dance, I don't know. Anyways, we have Bloody Mary, then Count Dracula, and Spandau Citadel. I was going to say Spandau Ballet. I mean, sorry, it's a very satisfying palette. Like I am really sad though. You can see I've kind of rubbed into this like shade here, and that's made me sad. Like, I'm just looking at this, like just changing its thing. Anyways, I'm going to go and drink some tea and try to feel a little bit better because I'm still gross. Not taking this off. I'm just gonna sit like this, maybe do some meeting calls. We'll see. Don't worry guys, you too can have this haggard appearance if you wake up at an ungodly hour, work all day, and during the course of that, drive for about 5 hours. Everything's going great. Anyways, you can kind of see I'm tired, so hence this. Anyways, this is about the 3rd time I've played with this palette because I wanted to kind of get to grips with it. So let's do more playtime. This is what I've done. It's nothing wildly difficult, and I mean that. But I will glue things to myself because F it. Why not? Stay consistent. Whee! Wingardium Leviosa! Look, I don't know where I am. Anyways, I'm using this Jessup JE03. It's a small blender. And I love that I probably said something like, I must try to avoid the green. No. Fuck it. Steer into the green. Go with it, Teresa. Because I went into Grendel. And you can tell I've been playing with this palette because I've quite dipped into it at this point. Anyways, whatever. So I'm just popping that in here. And smooshy smooshy. Yeah, so there we go. Nothing major. I want to do something fairly simple. It's quite I want to say like a grungy sort of a palette because it's all like dusty tones. I don't know how to describe it. It's unusual. I don't have anything quite like it in my collection. It wouldn't be something I would normally go for. So this was properly like, oh, I genuinely do not have anything like this. I do actually tend to convince myself that I don't have things. And that is how I've ended up with, apparently, 228 liquid lipsticks if you watched one of my recent lives. That was ridiculous. Yeah, and I've gotten a rush of new subscribers. So thank you to all those who may be new subscribers. I very much appreciate it. You came from Missa. She's all right. You know, I like her. She's my friend. I'm using this Zoeva 238. It is a 238. I was calling it a 228 the other day. Look, I am not to be trusted, clearly. And I'm going into Merry Cemetery, which is, I assume, what we're going to say instead of Happy Halloween. You know how like we have like Merry Christmas. Maybe now we'll just say Merry Cemetery, everyone. That would be a new one. How's everyone feeling about Halloween coming up? And like, trick-or-treating is actually going to happen this year, which I'm like, God, I do not have money put aside to sugar up some children. So there's going to be, my house is going to get egged. And I have the girls over, so that's going to be, look at that. Is that not stunning? I believe it's the correct term. Anything else is not acceptable. Taking the same brush again, and I'm going into Hoya Baciu Forest. Yeah, so that one there. And just for like some additional lightening up, you know. Let's face it, the world is on fire. We could use a bit of lightening up. So that kind of brightens it a little bit. Because I was like, why not? Let's have a little bit of joy. And in you go. Yeah, that'll do nicely. That'll do. And I'm taking the Jessup JE03 again, and this time I'm going into Highgate Cemetery. They really went for the old cemeteries on this one, which I'm all for, you know, like a little bit of spooky season. Da 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 da. There we go. But yeah, I'm super tired, so that's why you're getting a very lazy look from me. Not that my other looks are non-lazy. It makes it sound like, oh, I put so much effort into all of my other looks. It's so complicated. They're not. But this is particularly not complicated. So follow along at home. You don't even need parental supervision for this one. That's what I've told myself. I'm taking the Jessup JE05 and I'm taking it clean. So I've put it through the colour switch. Trust me. It's clean. It's fine. Well, as clean as it's going to be. I don't have a John. I have to clean all of my brushes myself. You know, if you've watched my channel for a while, you will know that when I talk about John, it is in relation to Elena, who is my favourite Russian friend. Yeah, my Russian-American friend. She's a doll. I love how she was like, oh, anytime I use green now, I think of Teresa. And I'm like, because she was on Wilma's Chin Wag, which, by the way, was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. I got to see two people I care about very, very much on my little video screen, and I was like, yeah, it was good. So I'm going into that dark green and into the, which one was it? The something cemetery, Highgate Cemetery. Wouldn't it be nice if I could see what I was doing? Oh, the things I could achieve. World peace, probably not, but maybe a better blend, you know? Love that. That would be my idea of like going to a genie, like, this is what I want, and they'd be like, do you not want to like bring about world peace? I'm like, no. So I'm going into the dark green matte again, and I'm just popping that in and going up because I want to build it up a little bit more. This is a bit unusual for me because I normally kind of start off like bright on the inside and go darker, but I'm just dark throughout. Which is like me as a person, just dark throughout. Yeah, welcome to the nonsense that I spew. My mum says I'm cool, so there you go. I'm taking the 238 again, and I'm just going to take that, was it Marygate Cemetery? Pop that on there again, and the Boycaju Forest thing. Look, you know what it is I'm talking about. And if you don't, that's alright. Just silently nod in the corner. Everything will be fine. Yeah. I am taking the Jessup 226. What is up with me and bloody Jessups? It's ridiculous. And I'm going into Black Forest, which actually isn't a black, it's more of like a navy blue. Now this is an interesting shade. Like, interesting for me. Like, because when you pack it on initially, look at that shade, look at that depth, right? You get a good amount of pigment. Now, you will find that when I blend, it becomes, I don't want to say muddy, but kind of ashy in a way, which is quite interesting to me. Also, this is a deceptive palette, which I'm going to cover in a little bit because there's some shades that are not as you think they would be, which I'm like, oh, you tricked me. But it's fine, like, you know, first world problems. But this goes on pretty okay, and then you kind of have a little bit, I don't want to say like an issue, but it does kind of blend away slightly. But like, it's all very doable, and you can build it back up. Like, it's fine. Everything is fine. Everything will be alright. Does anyone remember that song from the Killer's first album? I'm taking this Jessup 223 and I'm going on to Big Bad Wolf. Something that you can have on your eyeshadow palette and say in the bedroom, you know? I'm packing that on there. How will I ever stay monetized? I won't. I just won't. It's a miracle I've been monetized for this long, frankly. Just packing that on there. As you can see, very harsh. No blendy yet. But don't worry. Don't worry. Future Teresa is super capable. And she'll do that. I'm taking the smudger again. I'm taking more of that dark blue again. The Black Forest, I believe was what it's called. I'm popping that there. Yeah. There you go. Now, I have a good old Spectrum brush, which again, I love how Elena was like, in her chin wag, she was asked like what are her favourite brushes, and she said Spectrum, which are pricey, and I said Jessup, which are cheap. We Freaky Friday'd. It was a whole thing. Anyways, I'm taking the Spectrum B11 and I am taking more of Black Forest. I'm going to pack it and then do blendy blendy. Smooshy smooshy, swooshy swooshy. It'll be grand. Look at me, I'm actually like getting a bit better with the blending, I think, maybe, who knows. Look, it's all a journey. It doesn't have to be perfect, or does it? If it isn't perfect, then the cage comes down. My voice is still a bit eek, so I am very sorry if that offends you. It offends me too, if I'm honest, but that's just my voice in general. So yeah, I mean, this is genuinely the simplest look I've ever done, I think, on my channel ever. No, is it? No, actually, no. Shut up, Teresa. I'm taking the Big Bad Wolf again, and I'm popping that onto the same brush again, the B11. I'm just popping that there and going between those shades to just swishy swishy. They blend beautifully, like really, really nicely. Like, there's a nice sort of a transition there. Now, to get the green and the blue to blend a bit more, I'm taking a bit of both pigment on the brush and just going back and forth, kind of along the line there. Do I always sound this croaky? No, I promise. And then I took this Jessup 322, which is a brow liner, and I went into the Catacombs. I'd love to go to the Catacombs, actually. I love anything like a little bit spooky. Like, I've been to Edinburgh so many times, and like, I love going into the vaults and like the real Mary King's clothes and that sort of thing. Like, I love that. I think it's fascinating. I've told Sahil I want to bring him, but he hates that sort of thing. Clearly, we are an excellent match because our interests correspond. So I'm taking Spectrum B11 again, and I'm going more into more of Black Forest. And I'm just popping that there. And swishy swishy. Yeah, it's quite funny. I'm like, how are we together? Because some of the things that we have that I like, he has no interest in, and vice versa. But I suppose, yeah, it's good that we have our own like unique interests. And anyways, I'm going into Big Bad Wolf. I don't need to talk about my relationship with you. That's Jesus, like overshare much, Teresa. This shows how little sleep I have. Yeah, I mean that's fine. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Then I am taking this Jessup 223, and I'm going into the shade Bran Castle, which is this one here. I suspect I'll probably do something on the lower lash line as well. Who knows? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. You can see this is quite a dusty shade as well. So you can kind of see what I mean when I say that it's like a dusty palette. Not like, and I'm not being shady, it's not like the dusty palette. Like, no, the shades are like that, and it makes sense because the whole thing is like a haunted palette, and like if you're in a like haunted house, you see dust. So it's like, you know, they're like muted, toned down colours, which I think is really smart for this. I'm taking this same brush again, and I'm going into the shade that confuses me, and that is Krampus. Because you look at this and you think, whoa, excuse me, that it's like a purpley sort of a shade. Now, you wait and see when I put it on the eye, this is actually quite dark. Like, you think it's going to be bright, but look, do you see what I mean? It's really unusual. Like, you think it's going to be something other than what it is. So enjoy that, lads. I think that's really odd. Or is that just, is it probably just me? It's probably just me. I am using this Melt Transition brush, and I'm going into the Bran Castle again, and I'm just smacking that on there and just doing my blendies. You know, a blend a day keeps the doctor away. So does a shotgun, to be fair, but like, don't be going around doing that. Like, that's not good for healthcare, really. It's terrible advice. So I'm taking this brush and I'm going into Bran Castle and Black Forest, and I'm just kind of swishing between the two, just to have a little bit more of a gentle transition. That's what I've told myself. Yeah. Do you know what? I think I could do with a little bit more brightening on the inner corner here. So I'm taking the Zoeva 238 and I'm going into the Merry Cemetery. Merry Cemetery to you and to all a good Hallows Eve, etc., etc. So I'm going to pop that there because it needs a little bit of brightening, I think. Yeah, like my day. There we go. Could use a bit of brightening. And I'm going into the is it brow? How Bacchiao forest. Not even slightly close, Teresa. My God, you are a disaster. Yeah, there we go. That brightens it up a little bit more. It looks a little bit nicer. Yeah, so you can kind of see that like the shades are a lot more dusty than you would expect. Like it's not a vibrant palette, and you know me, I love like a rainbow palette. Like I love a bit of colour. So this is very unusual for me. This isn't the sort of thing I would normally gravitate towards. I'm just kind of blending that out a little bit more. So I think this was genuinely something that was kind of missing in a way. I'm just taking the brown castle again. It was kind of missing a little bit from my collection. Did I need it? No, absolutely not. But I like their quality. Like you can't really give out to them about their shimmers and stuff. And like you can build the mattes quite nicely. Like it's an unusual one. Now I think I need to blend. Yeah, I think I need to blend that a little bit more between the blue and the green, because that is not as blendy as I need it to be. So let's just attempt to do that a little bit more with the B11. Am I actually making a bit of an effort? Is this happening? Who knows? Do you know what? I'm tired. Like that'll... No, I need to put on more of the blue. Do you see what I mean when I say that it kind of... You build it on and then it kind of fades away. So I'm taking the 226. I'm packing that on again just to get it up a little bit more. That's what she said. I hate myself. Here we go. And I'll just slightly brush it there, but I don't want to swish it away to get rid of the pigment either. I think that's the one shade I'm a little bit like not wild on because it could perform better. I'm gonna feck off now. The rest is all super simple. I just take a black eyeliner. It's a Stila one. I have Sheen Cosmetics liner in Ice Cream. I put a bit of distortion on top, and I also used an OPV glitter in, was it Be Glooming or Be... Yes, Be Glowing. Right, so I'm going to feck off now. We'll come back, I'll glue some things to my eyes and we'll have a little chat and see how it all looks and what I think of it all together. I'm back, and it was so much easier to find a lipstick that I wanted now that I've colour coordinated, so yay! Anyways, you know, I used the palette, and I, by the way, used Mary King's Close, this one here, as a blush, because I wanted to kind of do something like that. And obviously I did the under eye as well. I used Hauska Castle on just the inner portion. I used Bloody Mary just kind of on kind of the bottom middle, and then Count Dracula on the outer portion. And did I stick my finger into something? No, I didn't. We're okay. Anyways, this is what it looked like. It was actually super simple. I glued a few gems because, do you know what? When in doubt, if you're like, that's what you do. Anyways, I'm going to zoom you in now so you can see what it looks like. So this is it. You can see I've put the gems on. I put the gold and the kind of red and stuff down here because I think it just kind of zhuzhed it up. Do you know what's interesting though? I think this is not a dupe, but a definite contender for the Melt Muerta. Because you see how you have like the smoky greens and the smoky blue, and then you have the reds? Like I think you can, like this is a look that you could also do with the Muerta. So, but it has extra options in there. I'll take off the glasses so you can see a bit better. So, as I had said, this was my third kind of play with the palette. Nothing wrong with it the first two times. I was just it was a me thing. I was all fed up and whatever, and I just couldn't get my mojo. Not that my mojo is here right now. Mojo Jojo, where is he? Who knows? Anyways, okay, what did I think? Well, I like this look. This is very me. There's a bit of green. Can't help it. It was in the palette, had to be used. What do I think of this palette? I think this is quite a unique colour story. Like I said, there are some comparisons with the Melt Muerta. Is it an exact dupe? No, but I think it gives you similar-esque vibes. Don't come for me. These are just my opinions, you know? I do think I would like if Black Forest kind of didn't blend away as much. That's just me being me. I wish this colour looked like it does in the pan. It's a lot more kind of... Oh, well, it does actually look like it does in the pan. So that's just me probably being an idiot. But anyways, it wasn't quite as I would have liked, but that's just me being me. I think those two golds are really good because they're two totally different tones of gold, which I thought was really interesting. There's some nice blending out shades. I think this is quite an unusual palette. It's not like a colourful palette. It's a muted colour. I think this is really very interesting. Like I said, the only issue was maybe the blue blending out and that kind of purple. Not even an issue, that's just me and my personal taste. I would have preferred a brighter sort of a pinky purple, but that's just me. So I would actually give this a 9.5 out of 10. I think it's actually really very, very nice. I think it's really well edited. Yeah, I really like this. Like it's and like I said, it's versatile because I used this as a blush. I also used this as a highlighter. Yeah, I really like it. So I know a few of you guys got this as well. I'm just like rubbing it in a really weird way. I know that a few of you guys got it as well. What did you think? Did you like it as well? Did it leave anything to the imagination? That sounds weird, but you know what I mean. Anyways, you know the drill. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell for more things. Things in general. Oh, stuff. Am I making promises beyond my capability? Possibly. But you never know. So, you know, click the button or whatever. Do please share, because sharing is caring. Unless, of course, it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That is the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.